What's up, everybody? This is the Bros Gone Wild podcast. Holla at me. What's going on, guys? You just walked yourself into another episode of the Bros Gone Wild podcast. This podcast is a self-help, life tips, comedic angles, and overall current events in the world that you can listen to every Sunday. Sit down, relax, grab that warm coffee, get that smooth jam, and just take a moment and chill with the boys. Just every Sunday, catch up from week events and get your current events news, get your funny news, get your comedic angles. So, without further ado, what was the poll this week, guys?
Well, I think the poll was, would you rather be 4 feet tall or 9 feet tall, correct?
4 feet tall or 9 feet tall. Yep. And
so let's get down to it.
Well, yeah, in for the poll, it was 62% 9 feet and 38% 4 feet, and we had 81 votes.
Wow.
Pretty happy about it. Thanks to my boy Crim6, my boy Ian hollering at us.
If you missed the big event on Twitter, you should check it
Yeah,
out.
you should take a little peek-see at that.
Just give us a follow while you're on there.
Oh, yeah, totally. So, yeah, what's your guys' thoughts about that? Are you a tall man or a short man?
Well, you know, after careful consideration, I think I would have to just go with being a little person over being tall.
Really?
Wow.
You're in the minority.
Yeah, I don't know. Being that tall would just, I'm just thinking back to Cole Chewins having to duck through doorways and whatnot, and he's not even 7 foot, so if you're actually 9 foot, I feel like you'd have some issues getting into some places, some low ceilings.
Yeah.
I get that.
I completely get that.
I guess I didn't really put too much thought into it. I want to hear the other supporting evidence.
Obviously, neither would be a desirable situation.
Right.
It is tall.
I would probably choose 9 feet tall. Think of the things you could do being 9 feet tall. Hell of an athletic career.
Yeah, you got to think
Basketball,
about the opportunity.
football, just stand in the back of the end zone, then throw it up to you. Like, literally, there's so many things you could do, make a lot of money.
Assuming you're athletically capable of
Assuming
doing
you
all
have
these
somewhat
things.
of
Coordination.
somewhat hand-eye coordination.
Oh, also, this
Even
isn't.
if you're not
this
that
isn't.
coordinated.
We're not saying you get tall man's disease by any means. We're just kind of saying
Marfan.
whatever that is. We're just simply saying you're 9 feet with basically no health problems. You're 4 feet with basically no health problems.
Okay.
That's also part of it.
Yeah, no, that does come into factor for sure.
Yeah.
But you're like the type of scary tall where you walk through the airport, people stop what they're eating and look at you.
Dude, we're like the same height. I would.
Realistically, though, how tall would too tall be? Like, obviously 9 foot really isn't realistic, but
What's too tall?
yeah, like I'm not.
6'8". I would like to be no taller than
No
6'8".
taller than 6'8".
I'm perfectly happy where I'm at. I'm at a nice 6'5" right now. If I don't grow another inch, I'll be a happy man. I'm taller than most of society, but I'm not freakishly tall.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think 6'3" would be a pretty dope height. What I also think, I don't necessarily want to grow that much, though, because I got all this awesome clothes, and it would suck to have to get new jeans, new shirts, new shoe. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now.
I'm really not shocked that Josh brought in the fashion side of things because he is one of the sharpest dressers in the office.
Compared to us two, we just...
Oh, yeah.
We are,
especially compared to us.
I did get the best dressed over in high school, so.
You did.
Yeah, you actually did, right?
Let's be clear on this. He did not get... That's such bullshit, dude.
I brought it up to you guys.
You voted for you.
You guys went out of your way to make sure nobody voted for me. I was
fucking
depressed.
what world are you living in?
I was depressed.
I voted for you.
The fact that I was unaware of that you were even up for nomination and you're blaming me for your loss. Wow.
Oh, no.
What happened
some
with that?
guy that won. Some guy that wore bow ties every day.
John
got
Hubert
it,
McLennan, bro.
I don't even really think. No, he didn't win it.
I thought he won it.
No. It was some guy that.
I remember that kid. I can't remember his name, though.
He wore like a bow tie every day. He was in band. And yeah, of course, a bow tie is fancy, but it was just like the same thing every day.
Well, he would just throw a bow tie on with whatever he was wearing.
Yeah, it's not necessarily best dressed if you're wearing a bow tie. It didn't match that well or anything.
I
was stylish.
Just because you wear a suit every day doesn't mean you're best dressed. It doesn't reflect style. You know what I mean? You can be stylish but not be like, doesn't necessarily have to be business like professional every day. Like,
and no, I'm not saying you can't. But I told a few people, and they took that challenge upon themselves to make sure I did not.
So you're
win.
saying the reason you didn't win is because people colluded against you?
That is exactly what I'm saying.
We have another conspiracy.
The collusion brought me down.
Interesting.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm still salty about it.
You think a group of kids got together and said, "Fuck Josh, we're all gonna
I
vote."
found multiple signs across the school saying, "Let's bring Josh down."
Let's make sure this motherfucker wins nothing.
Wait, actually, I think I did see something like that around the school.
Yeah.
A sign that said, "Make sure Josh doesn't win."
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I was kind of pissed. I don't know.
So who won best? Was that Andrew who won the biggest
Best
gamer? Or
That
whatever?
was Andrew. Andrew got best gamer. He was working hard for that. Apparently, it was between him and Dasuki.
That's
Andrew was a huge gamer back then, but he's definitely lost that title since college. I'm pretty disappointed.
Those days are behind him.
Yeah. You guys didn't win anything, did you? Or
No.
were you up for the
I don't
running?
even think I was up for anything.
I wasn't up for anything.
Yeah.
Nope.
I wasn't really either. Besides best dressed.
Were you even on the ballot for best dressed?
I don't. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know if I got past
Take-
stage one.
Stage
one voting.
Is there even a stage one voting? Like,
I
you
don't
can
really
write down
know.
any random name you want in there.
Actually,
I don't even
don't
know if
know
that
how that
qualifies
works.
as like you being up for it.
All
I was
know-
up for it just as much as you were.
All I know is I was definitely. I probably should have won it from the kind of dressing I was doing at school.
So
You do dress
it's a
up.
little bit of a stretch. Actually, it's a lot of bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. But, moreover, what kind of stories you got? What's been happening this week? Moving off best dress.
Well, I just figured we'd start off on this.
Let's get right to it.
Just, we can't say we talk about current events without talking about the two big things that happened this week.
Of course.
Sad stuff,
Yeah.
but the terrorist attack in London, and then there was a nightclub shooting last night in Cincinnati, I believe. I don't know much about the Cincinnati one, especially since it just happened like 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
I know
Definitely.
at least one person was killed and like 14 people were hurt, and in London like 5 people were killed. It was just
Did they say it was like a terrorist-related incident or just?
the last night.
Yeah, last night.
No, I'm not sure. It happened at a nightclub, and that's really
Okay.
the extent I know. I haven't looked at it.
Actually, I'm reading right here. I just found something. There's no evidence yet of a terrorist attack, so
Okay.
that doesn't make it any more
Dude.
okay. But still,
Shit's scary,
seems
man.
like yeah, it is.
Shit's scary.
Oh, it's extremely scary.
It's just senseless.
How easy it is for like
That's by
Just
far
when
the
you-
biggest thing to me.
just when you're out in public, you're such an easy target,
Oh my gosh.
and it's so easy.
And
Like,
in all honesty, it could truly happen anywhere. That's
I know.
what's
Could.
freaking wild.
it's just starting to happen like so
There's
much.
just
Like
no way to plan. Or
it's not going to be long before you know somebody that was like
involved.
affected,
It's
Or
unbelievable.
affected, yeah.
which is scary.
That
You know
is
what I mean?
scary.
You never know when it's going to happen, and
It sucks it has to be that way.
No, it really does. And it freaks you. I couldn't imagine being being a parent and just being really scared of sending my kid on the plane, just in general.
On the bus to school, dude, it can
Dude,
happen
who knows?
anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Now-
Yeah, no, it does freak you out.
In London, what happened in London?
Yeah, talk about that a little bit. Or
so there's a big bridge that's a very like popular tourist spot because you can line up on the bridge and it overlooks like the British Parliament and like this big historic building with Big Ben is and
Uh-huh.
everything like that. So that's like always lined with tourists, through my understanding. And so a guy took his car and was like swerving up and down the bridge, hitting people on the side of the bridge and stuff.
Wait, like people walking?
People standing taking
Pedestrians.
pictures,
Oh
like
my
tourists on the
gosh.
side of the bridge. Like
Jeez.
apparently it's packed on that bridge all the time.
Yeah.
Swerved, was hitting people, killed a few people there. Actually, one American died,
Jeez.
and then crashed his car into the gate in front of like the British Parliament building. Got like past the gate, stabbed a police officer, and then was shot.
Wow.
And like the prime minister was in there. It was like it was a work day. Like they were going to vote on bills and stuff. So like every member of the British
Oh,
government
wow.
was like there.
Damn.
And they had to
Scary.
lock everything down, and it was wild.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think they have like an underground bunker or something? Or
Oh, they have so much. stuff going on. Like,
I almost feel like if there's a big gathering like that anywhere, they almost have that kind of big backup.
No doubt, the president or like the leader of, I guess, any country, they're not letting that person into a room without 3 plans on how to get them out or something. happens. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like the amount of planning that goes into taking somebody like that just out. Like the amount of money it costs for the president to walk out of the doors of the White House.
I think it's like $1 million. That's
it's
the general
ridiculous.
cost. If he leaves the White House, it's $1 million.
What do you mean?
If he leaves like the perimeter, like the gates and stuff, they have, because they're scouting out that whole route, the whole route they're driving
expensive.
on. They got to get surveillance,
you gotta hire
Secret
people.
Service.
Yeah.
You know, they're everything. All the roads they're driving on are checked. There's people lining the roads. There's snipers on all the roofs. Like, they don't take that shit lightly.
So if you're saying when shit hits the fan, if the president had to leave, it would cost a lot of money to
No, I'm saying when he leaves, if he were to,
whenever.
If Donald Trump right now wanted to walk down the
Gotcha.
street and get a sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. I thought like
that much.
when it was just an emergency situation they had, but I get it now because you do need a lot of security and whatnot, and they have snipers everywhere, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it blows me away. And think about it, that's someone's job to solely figure out plans of getaway if something happens. That's your entire
Take a
career.
bullet.
No, all I'm saying is there's obviously someone that kind of writes out the plan. So say he's traveling to a Capitol building, someone's there writing out these plans in case something happens of where they're gonna go. I don't know if that's per building. Maybe each building has that kind. I don't know. It's just. It would be an interesting job to have.
Probably make a good amount of money.
He has a group of people. The whole Secret Service. Their job is to literally jump in front of a bullet for that one person.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
It is absolutely wild.
But yeah, I just figured I'd have to bring up those two events, or else we wouldn't be actually covering.
And it is it's a solemn topic.
You know, we try not to cover politics. This isn't obviously politics. It's just we don't want to cover politics just because obviously we don't want to make it about that.
No, yeah, bring out the awareness of what's going on in our world and making sure everyone knows that these terrorist attacks are happening. That's a real thing. No, it's not fiction. Yeah, so.
Josh?
Little store?
Yeah.
Some of the stories I saw this week, they just apparently threw on the rusted patched Bumblebee to the endangered species list.
Wow.
I know, I saw it.
Hey, I'm going to have a beer for that one.
I'm going to have a cold
No, that's
one.
not funny at all, actually. Endangered species list?
Yeah, and
Shit.
I thought the whole time when I got this article, I read it too fast thinking it was the Bumblebee in general was on the endangered species list. But it's just the rusted patch. I don't know if that means... I don't know how many bees that's referring to.
I mean, bees just in general have been...
Looks like a normal bee.
Bees have been... there are certain groups, I'm sure you've heard, Save the Bees. That's like a thing now,
it's a big thing. And
So
a lot of
that's
people say if the bees die, we die.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, obviously they pollinate everything.
They pollinate everything.
Actually, I saw something... I was on Twitter. I think it was probably tweeted out by CNN, where it was a video of they had a little tiny robot drone that they showed pollinating flowers. So they actually developed some technology where they had it was about the size of a bee flying around and actually self-pollinating all these flowers.
Dang, that's awesome.
So I mean, hey,
almost like AI.
There's hope.
Saving us.
Bees fucking suck to when they're around me, dude. I don't like when bees are around me. Obviously, they serve a vital purpose, and I don't want them to go extinct. But if I don't have to deal with bees in my life,
I kind of like them though. So when I water the flowers every summer, so that's 20 minutes out of my day going around water flowers. And dude, I'm telling you, I feel like a beekeeper when I'm going around all these flowers. I got these little guys that I'm watering the plants, trying to get these things nice and juicy for the bees. I'm feeding these bees, giving them honey practically. I feel
giving them honey.
I'm giving them the pollen. I'm getting them the good flowers to go to, and I feel like I have a responsibility. And I don't know, it's cool.
It's about the opposite of how I feel. I'd be lying if I said I haven't destroyed my fair share of bees' nests in the day.
Really?
I just hate bugs in general. So
if
naturally,
they're in bad
bees.
spots, yeah. I
or
want
just in general.
We
There was a large one at the fountains this year.
You had to take it out?
Dayton and I worked at the fountains.
Golf course.
It was never our job to take it out, but if we had a down moment, we'd take some rocks and throw it up. It was about 30 feet
we had
into a tree.
Down moment. We had a few down moments in the day.
But we'd take rocks. It's like 30 feet up, dude. We'd take rocks and launch them at it. This thing was massive, dude. Bigger.
Did you build a catapult for it? Or?
Yeah, dude.
Human slingshot.
Thing was bigger than my head, and I got a large head.
Yeah,
so
no
that's saying a lot.
Big head.
Speaking,
which one?
I got stung through my hat on top of my head.
Really?
Yeah.
It was weird.
It hurt. I couldn't believe I thought I had a hat on, I'd be good. Stung me through it.
I mean, we had a getaway vehicle and everything. And
Stick shift.
I guess that's part of it. I haven't had any. I've had maybe about 2 stings in my life, 3 stings. So I don't have anything against bees for the fact that they really haven't done that much to me. They're pretty good guys.
I can
bros.
I can handle a bee sting. Like, I'm a man.
No.
I got some balls on me. But I mean,
I'm a man.
No, but I guess a little more on that story. It says right here that bees have lost 90% of its range in the past 20 years. So it was almost kind of saying that these bees are just staying in these one spots and then just dying. And that's part of the reason that apparently places are losing bees because not all these bees aren't moving around as much as they used to. So certain types of bees are kind of like falling out because they're not spreading everywhere.
we need to do like they did in the Bee movie. Just have them all hop on a plane, go to Pasadena, pollinate all the flowers in the Rose Bowl garden ceremony or whatever the hell it is. And
Jerry Seinfeld, man.
phenomenal film.
Is it though?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Have you seen it?
I absolutely have seen it.
I've seen it an unhealthy amount of times.
Oh, really? I've maybe seen it. I've seen it once, full through.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's enough.
Go ahead, Dave. I'll tell you why I've seen it a bunch. But
I'm just saying, I've seen a lot on Twitter about that movie, and it's gaining more traction like 6 or 7 years after it was made.
I guess I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's annoying. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's that good of a movie, but it's okay, but it's definitely not the best movie I've seen.
I haven't seen it in years, but we used to have it in the car. So whenever you'd hop in the car, no matter if we were going for a 3-hour drive, if we were driving 20 minutes down the road, like it would just come on.
Yep. Dude, that's how I feel about National Treasure.
So I've seen it a ton of times. I'd watch it every time I was in the car.
Yeah, I had my iPod Nano or whatever, and that was the only movie I had.
I had that movie on my iPod.
So I would go on car rides, and boom, toss that baby on. I think I've seen National Treasure 15, 20 times.
I don't even know if I have a comment to fire back at that. That's funny, though.
Yeah, no, that's...
I mean, if we are talking about the greatest all-time films, I have to plug Apollo 13.
You got a name drop.
You got to get awareness out there. Oh, Jim Lovell.
And for those of you who don't know, who is that, Jonah?
Jim Lovell. He's Apollo 13 astronaut. He led the crew.
Yeah.
Nice.
Played by Tom Hanks in Apollo 13.
That's what I thought.
Great watch. Highly recommended.
Cool. It's really cool.
But yeah.
Josh, you love Apollo 13, don't you?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, so little background. I get shit for watching this movie. Everybody that gives me shit has never watched it.
No,
the only person that took the time to sit down and watch it was Dayton, and he doesn't give me shit about it anymore.
I take that back.
It's a good movie,
but it just didn't leave much of a mark on me.
I don't believe you. I don't think you've seen it.
It's been so long. I guess I maybe not fully, but I've seen a little bit of it.
I was surprised by Kevin Bacon's performance in that.
Dude,
let's not sleep on that.
Kevin Bacon.
Wow.
Just don't even get me started on the movie. I've seen it so many times. I could quote it. I could say over half the lines like with the movie.
That's part of the reason I can't watch it. Oh, I know Kevin Bacon is actually people sleep.
He's had a nice little career.
Footloose is what he's most known for, probably.
Yeah. Oh, that's not. You think that's his big?
The original Footloose.
Oh, the original.
He did the original Footloose.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Gotcha.
Okay. I could see him Greaseback. I could totally.
It's kind of like how he got big, or I don't know if that's how he got big. But that was a big one he did back in the day.
Kevin Bacon.
I'm not old enough to really talk about all these old actors. Like we're not old. Haven't lived long enough to talk about these guys.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
But
no, Kevin Bacon's dope.
While I don't know, just on a side note, I'm gonna bring this up to Josh. This was supposed to come up last podcast. but we never got to
Born
it.
and raised.
So let me gather my thoughts here. I came home one day, and I noticed a article, and it was something they were teaching in Sashabo Middle School. Long story short, what it has to deal with is the magnetic poles, Earth's magnetic poles, north, south, whatever. And supposedly they're supposed to swap places in our lifetime, maybe. And if that were to happen, we're talking compasses have to be reset, we're talking blackouts, internet reset, navigation reset.
Wait.
So, like, do you know how, like, compasses are attracted to the
core.
magnetic field at the North Pole?
Oh, I always
so
thought
it's a magnet. So if you take a magnet and put it next to a compass, it'll fuck it up.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a strong magnetic pull to the North Pole, and if that flips,
And the South Pole.
In the South Pole, yeah. But if that flips, then it would fuck up everything. So my understanding from talking to Dayton was the Northern Lights would change locations, just theoretically, we could get the Northern Lights here in Mount Pleasant.
Wow.
Like, you could change places.
It could be somewhere random.
Our protection from radiation could change, and it could fuck a lot of things.
Cancer levels and whatnot.
It'd be wild.
Wow.
And cosmically speaking, it doesn't happen it's not rare. It happens every few thousand years or what?
Every million years on average it happens. But
that's a timing and a half.
How lucky we are to get that in our lifetime to see that.
It is timing and a half.
The last time a full reversal, because there are some times where it'll be
deviate for a little.
It'll
bit
switch and then it'll go right back. It'll be just like a partial reversal. 780,000 years ago was the first full reversal. So, like Jonas said, cosmically speaking, it's really not that long of a time as long as time has existed, but still. And this will be the first time human beings will see the switch, too. So.
Wow.
Probably the last time.
And probably the last time, yeah.
And so, how do they predict it? How do they, is there...
all these science...
Do you know why it occurs? It's just literally...
It's one of those natural phenomenons of space, Earth,
and
time, yeah. But there's a lot of scientific terms and whatnot in the article I read, but basically it's just a natural phenomenon. And like Jonas said, how cool would it be to have northern lights in places where there are actually people?
It would change the landscape of everything. Can you imagine if the northern lights were in Mount Pleasant, how much that would change?
And
Mount Pleasant,
more people would live here. More people.
It would be a tourist spot.
It would be a tourist location.
The area would make so much more money. It would be so much nicer. And
it would become
just everything that it would change. All the GPS compasses, like you already said, so much shit would have to change.
That's weird.
It would fuck up the economy.
Oh,
big time.
People would just freak out.
There'd be a lot of winners and there'd be a lot of losers on that one. You know what I mean?
Especially if there's a blackout.
Yeah, no, it's interesting.
They said blackouts could be...
Blackout stuff is crazy.
Yeah,
if we had a blackout, I don't know what would occur.
We'd be screwed.
It would be like lockdown for about a week. I truly... And I heard about it on something. They were talking about it.
Something about a solar flare, right?
Yeah, so there was a solar flare that happened around... Maybe it was 1970s or something like that. It was back when there wasn't a ton of technology to be that impacted. But there was a solar flare that... Every once in a while it happens from the sun, or whatever happens hits Earth just right, and this solar flare in 1970, it had enough power to, it basically took out all the power plants, all the massive things that control our electricity. But since there wasn't that much of it when it hit, it wasn't a big deal.
Didn't affect that much.
But if something like that was to happen today, they said it would cause about a 3 to 4 month blackout. That we wouldn't be able to get full-blown electricity or anything like that for 3 months.
Well, okay, hold up.
We wouldn't make it through that.
In 1970, they had full electricity.
Maybe it was 1940.
But still, they would still have lighting and stuff. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't know if you know or anything.
No, I didn't.
I know
mean
you're not
1970.
well versed on it, but
I didn't mean 1970. And yeah, this is kind of something I just heard and I discussed with you a little bit. But it was something where electricity wasn't that important back in that day, and I just couldn't. And it was just talking about how crazy our Earth would go if something like that happened.
I mean, who knows what could happen?
It just almost doesn't make sense because I feel like generators should start. And
that's so over my head.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I don't know. Good for those people who can figure that out.
Yeah.
The calculations and quantum physics and
Yeah. I'm impressed that they figured out when that reversal is going to happen.
Like
or
I
that
said,
it's going to happen soon. How can they
So,
figure that out?
it says-
never happened.
Maybe like the magnetic force is like weakening. You said that might be part of it. Or?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay.
they're seeing different levels of radiation in different places of the Earth, but it says we're overdue for a full reversal.
Wow,
So
overdue.
So it
should
should
already
happen.
happen.
And they're linking it with volcanic activity, and they're saying there's a good chance that we might not even make it through, like a
Dang.
physical disaster or natural disaster or something of that nature. So,
Dang.
Oh Jesus Christ! I didn't
That's,
know it was that.
That's unbelievable.
because apparently every time it switches, there's some
something
kind of
before it.
some kind of fault activity, volcanic activity.
Like a little like
You know how
2012.
freaking scary.
Little 2012, yeah.
Dude, who knows? Maybe it's some of this flooding stuff we're gonna get with the glaciers. Maybe that's starting to brew something. And one thing I learned in my geology class, basically a geology major, but volcanoes are some of the scariest things of all
You
time.
don't fuck with volcanoes.
And the ash that you
hell no! Are you
and
kidding
I'm
me?
pretty I don't want to say this without knowing it, but I'm pretty sure volcanoes can move like the lava itself moves like 30 miles or 40 miles an hour. Could you imagine that stuff flying at you? Certain
no,
ones. There's
no.
lots of different types of them.
Shooting out.
Oh, you talking about like shooting out or like when it's rolling
When it's
downhill?
rolling down a hill.
Oh yeah,
a
dude.
lot
Oh,
of them,
they move.
it
Have you ever
wipes out.
Have you ever seen videos of lava like just flowing into the ocean?
Yeah, but it's usually pretty slow oozing, right?
No, there's sometimes where it's like
Mine-
pouring
Oh my
and
gosh.
it's hitting the. Oh, dude, it's wild.
And we watch some things
Shit's so hot.
where water levels get disturbed. So there's the underground water table and all that, and there's some weird stuff that happens with volcanoes and heating, and sometimes that water level gets super messed up on the Earth, and you'll literally watch water just start spraying out of the ground, out of grass, and there will be mass weird floodings that start, and literally random puddles going everywhere and destroying all this
So,
stuff.
that's how the world. That's how
It
the
is so
world's
funky.
gonna end.
Some of the stuff volcanoes can do, and it's just it's impressive.
That's scaring me.
Yeah, you can be basically scared of everything.
Yeah, but there's.
Nature, just in general, dude.
No, for sure.
Jonah was just talking about how crazy it is. This is kind of off topic, but
Oh, you talking about?
riding horses for sport.
We were watching Sports Center last night, and they showed a highlight of a horse race, and I was just sitting there, and I was just like, it is kind of fucked up
It is.
that for sport, we hop on these animals and whip them as hard as we can to get them to run as fast. Like, that's weird.
It is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
But man, what's wild is they treat those things like it's their baby. They love their horses. They bond. They become one with them, and then next thing you know, they're whipping them and stuff.
And the thing is
go fast.
those horses are good for a few races, few years, and then what?
they really don't have long career.
No.
You kind of fuck them up by running them
They put
ragged
'em
like
down.
that. They put them down, dude.
They put them down so fast.
yeah.
Like after
Those
they're
things
useless.
yeah.
I'm always so
Horses-
impressed how much breeding is.
Those horses are worth so much money.
No, and that's the breeding thing.
Gosh.
Yeah, right. They have a career, and then they breed them, and then they
And
kill
they're
them.
done. Yep.
Yeah.
It's wild.
But it's such a think about it. It's such a celebrated part of our culture. The Kentucky Derby is
Horse
like
racing. It's like a classic. Like
it's so
it's like a
celebrated.
pastime.
My mom and stepdad are going. Dana and Archie.
Really?
are-
My parents
yeah.
have gone to the
Really?
Derby. Yeah.
It's a big deal. People love it.
No, that's super cool. What? I don't
The
even-
amount of money that gets floated around at those events is
I
ridiculous as
couldn't
well.
imagine. My teacher bet on my teacher. She told this story about how she's big into horseback riding. She was apparently runner-up national champion for. So apparently she's super good. Long story long, she went to the Kentucky Derby with like a guy took her there or something as on a date, something along those lines.
It's a good date.
It's a good
Yeah.
date. And she was just trying to have fun, and of course if you go to something like that you have to throw down some money. Just
Yeah,
Out
not,
of
maybe,
principle.
not, maybe not a lot.
out of
So-
principle you
right.
have to. It's like going to a casino and
How could you not?
gamble.
Yeah.
not gambling at all. You just kind of gotta. So she goes, and she didn't really know what, but it's a certain type of bet where you bet on all three of the horses and which ones place first, second, third, which is the most elaborate bet you can make. You can bet
Right,
for.
and if you hit it,
there's
you
a lot of
probably
different
cash
types
in.
Of, yeah, so she only put down $50 or something for all 3 of them on all in the row, and if you get it right, it multiplies it by like 30 or something like that, or whatever it might be. Yeah. She walked out of there with like $3 or $4 grand because she guessed that perfectly as almost a joke. And she was just telling us, she was bragging to all of us how freaking amazing.
That's wild. We kind of started talking about last night, the fact that people go in and throw hundreds of $1,000s on these races when literally it's almost like a coin flip.
Yeah,
it's chance.
You know what I mean? Like these animals, you don't know how these animals are about to perform.
Oh my gosh.
Like it's so random. I mean, obviously you have your favorites. You know, there's horses that are better than others, but
jockeys
really that doesn't do a whole. You know what I mean?
It narrows it down a little bit, but not enough for me to throw down 10 or 15 grand on a horse, you know?
Right.
I want to know the skill level of those jockeys.
They're
dedication.
Tiny.
No, I do know they are
They're
very
so small.
They could be 4 feet tall.
Put a lot of hours. Could be 4 feet tall.
Or 9 feet. I mean, not 9 feet, probably 4 feet. But yeah, I wonder how you grow up knowing you want to be a jockey.
Well, if you're a horse, you know, if you're
just probably raised around that. I feel like it's almost in a way NASCAR.
If you grow up being like riding horses and stuff, and then you kind of like start to get into that. You know, I can understand how people get into that.
Yeah, and I think she did a lot of obstacle course horse stuff, whatever that might be called. Equestrian, correct? Yeah, equestrian. That's
it gives some people a thrill.
No,
I mean, all power to you, but it's not my cup of tea. My sister used to horseback ride, and I used to go and watch. And
you guys ever ridden a horse?
No,
never. Really?
No, never.
Never ridden a horse.
It's weird.
One of those things.
It's weird. I don't know, dude. I have a hard time around animals like that. Like I like them, and I'm not necessarily scared, but sometimes I get freaked out because it does not take much for those horses to
lose it.
They're very unpredictable.
You know what I mean?
Who knows? I've heard there's endless amount of stories of people breaking their hip, people breaking their leg because a horse. Yeah, because a horse threw them off.
Right. Yeah. Like we go to camp every year up north, and you can horseback ride up there. I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
But I've mounted a couple horses in my day.
Yeah, I would totally. The first time I horseback ride, I'm gonna have to find one in the woods.
Jesus.
Track it for about 3-4 days. Figure out its habits. Figure out what it likes to eat, what it likes to nibble on, and I'm gonna mount the hell out of that horse and call it my own.
Dude,
are
there any wild horses? I don't think there's any wild horses in America. There's some in like.
I'll travel to Africa.
Google it.
Where are
wild horses?
Wild horses.
Isn't there,
I did a project on this in 5th grade. I remember with Andrew Angus, but I don't remember what it was.
Isn't there some island in the world where there's just literally thousands and thousands of wild horses running around?
Sounds right.
I don't remember where it is.
Wyoming. Wow,
there's about 33,000 wild horses running free in the U.S. Running free.
Can you imagine?
Brought over by the Spanish. In 1500s, they roamed through public lands in western states like Colorado, Nevada, Wyoming, and Montana. Well, I'm going to take a trip to Colorado. I might shred the nard a little bit.
Stop by the dispensary. Josh's like, I'm going to stop by the dispensary while I'm in Colorado, and then I'm going to go find a horse.
Well, one of my favorite things is seeing those videos of, like, people in the hood riding down the sidewalk on a horse. Have you seen those? They're like multiple. I've seen it so many times. These black guys riding down the street, just galloping on a horse, and then someone will obviously have rap music playing in the background just to make it like animated.
I've seen the 4-wheelers and stuff and all that. I know. I've maybe seen. I guess I don't see the horse thing that much, but yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So horses. Have you guys ever skied or snowboarded in Colorado?
I've never even been to Colorado.
I've never been to Colorado. I've heard it's very nice.
Apparently, my dad is just saying it's something you have to do before you.
My mom talks about it all the time. I'm like, dude, I'm not saying. That's what I say. I go. I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool, but I don't ski, and for me to trust myself enough to ski down a fucking mountain,
yeah,
you know, I better have some legs underneath me. I haven't skied since before like 9th grade.
I'm renting some snowmobiles if I go to Colorado. It probably wouldn't be skis. It'd probably
some
be
jet skis. I feel
some jet skis there would be fun.
Yeah,
going through those hills and all that, and going
cruising.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. No, but it's so cool. You take those. Apparently, it's just like nothing else in the fact that you ride down on skis for 2-3 miles. You're literally tired of skiing down.
You're in a short sleeve shirt. You're in a short sleeve. You stop halfway down the mountain, take a break, eat lunch, and hop
There's
back on.
stops literally down the mountain.
It's such a long.
You could
It's
you
3
can
miles.
go down
miles
for
dude,
2 hours.
You're going down. Yeah, it's literally like a 2 hour. Like
long.
You take
You
breaks, eat. You're in
Think about-
Colorado,
so
smoke a J,
These
hop
mountains
back
are
on.
dwarfing
Oh,
Pine Knob and all these.
Obnoxiously.
dude, this like
Pine Knob,
I don't
you go
know.
down for
I've
2
never
minutes.
even really been skiing
Pine Knob's
there.
an anthill
Yeah.
compared to those things. Like
Yeah.
they're like legit mountains.
And you get in these little pod things with about 20 people,
yeah,
a little trolley,
Trolley, thank you.
and they just fire you
take
up
you
the
up.
hill, and then
It's like
get-
it's like a 30 to 45 minute trolley ride to the top.
Is it? I didn't know it was that one, but yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, some of them, depending on where you go.
Eventually, I would love to go.
I'm not into winter sports.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
not
into
into
skiing. I
that.
feel like it's an easy way to fucking blow out a knee.
Yep.
Growing up, no, it definitely is. Especially snowboarding, you can get twisted weird. I feel like.
Skiing too, dude. Both of
Blowing
them.
out
break a
knee
leg.
skiing?
Oh yeah.
Wow. Just getting it caught and twisting. Yeah. I
Anyway,
guess,
dude,
yeah.
if you fall, those skis, like if you were to fall, those skis get caught.
Long.
You're strapped in.
I'm pretty good at skiing. I basically grew up skiing. Like every winter, I would go on a big skiing trip.
I skied like once a year for like 3 years,
Was
and
it
then
ski
once I
club?
started like 9th grade basketball, it's like no more. I haven't done it since.
No, that's pretty much what happened to me too.
I don't know if I will, dude.
I dipped my toes in a little snowboarding. I wasn't a huge fan. It's all right.
I've
I
never
prefer
tried.
skiing, I think. But yeah, it's definitely a skill set that I don't really care that much about.
I mean, I'm sure.
Very
I'm sure I could be a world class skier if I wanted to be, but
I could be a world class sledder. Like if I'm going up on a mountain, I'll just probably sled down. I love sledding. When we went to the dunes,
Sledding on the dunes was fun.
fun.
It was
you
just
did. That's right. You did do it. You just didn't do it the first night.
the very first night.
Yeah,
It
you're
was
right.
dark.
Yeah,
It was not
Cold.
Yeah, it was cold.
it was fun though. You got flying down the Sleeping Bear Dunes sledding.
I wish there was a touch more snow, but
It wasn't snowy enough. That's for sure.
it was a lot of dirt. A lot of dirt with it.
We haven't gotten like any snow this year, really.
Honestly,
we were supposed to have a rough winter.
And what we just had our first 65-degree day on this Friday.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome. I loved every
It was
second
like
of
hot.
It was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to shed layers. Oh my gosh! Speaking of layers, I was reading this thing on Lulu. They kind of tweet this cool stuff on Twitter every once in a while and inspirational quotes and everything. I was reading this article on how nice. Oh, repping it myself. And they're starting this. They're trying to almost start a trend, and obviously they're very big into yoga, and they're trying to start a trend that is with being naked while you do yoga, being completely stripped naked,
I only do yoga, dude.
but being with 15 people that are also naked.
That'd be wild, dude.
And-
That'd be an experience.
And the yogi texts even say that remind us that dropping our armor and stripping down to our rawest place gets us closer to what an authentic, progressive and real, even if that's a little bit uncomfortable, according to the yogi texts.
Dude, honestly, doing yoga naked would
Never
probably be one of the best experiences ever. I can see it being incredible.
It would be.
Like as long as you just got if you get over the fact that you're also with 20 people nude doing
It
yoga,
would be a very interesting.
like if you just
mind-
if you get past that, dude, it would be sweet.
And I feel like that's part of it. That's almost the beneficial part of it. Trying to get past your personal discomfort, your uncomfortableness.
Imagine a old ass man doing like down dog right in front of you.
Well, don't get it twisted. It's definitely more beneficial for women. I mean, you could get caught up twisting weird. I don't know. I feel like you got to be pretty careful. In a way, as a guy, I
hold
think
on.
Hold on.
Wait, let's backtrack here. What do you mean?
Yeah, more beneficial to women.
Wait, what do you mean?
you don't have that package dangling around everywhere. That's all I'm trying to say. I'd almost prefer. I was thinking about it from my aspect. I think I'd prefer compression shorts.
You're talking about the
rather than
dangly
being
parts.
Completely nude
For
for guys.
What? Chicks have boobs
So-
that hang down and do stuff like that though too. Like it's not like
But you would prefer to be completely nude than compression short, holding everything nice and tight.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude, just let everything fly.
I don't know. I'm not. Also, another reason. Yeah, I don't know. I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
So, let it all show.
That's all I gotta say about that. Yeah. You got any cool stories, D?
No, not really. I don't know. Congratulations to Clarkson basketball.
Congrats.
Oh
to
yeah, we haven't
Clarkson
even talked
B-ball.
about it.
Yep.
Won state championship, Coach Fife.
Awesome. So
Great
proud.
to see.
Proud alum.
Proud alum. It was. Yeah. They played a hell of a game on Saturday.
did.
Beat a very good team.
Uh huh.
And
They did.
I couldn't be more happy for
It
them.
was
Really.
fun game to watch, you know.
It really was. I was nervous going in. I was on the edge of my seat, and yeah, it was a great game. I
Yeah.
enjoyed watching it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's number 1 for Clarkston, and I guess
One of many.
On to many more.
Yeah.
Just break that glass ceiling and now just
Yeah. Wow. That's from some movie, isn't it?
yeah, I don't remember what it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I guess
it's about
it's about most of what we got. I don't know if you covered the intense events. We covered Clarkson basketball. We took a trip up to state, had a good weekend. Watched our boys bring home that dub, and yeah, honestly, I guess
that was about
that's
it.
pretty much all that's going on.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah. All right, boys. I guess that's gonna do it for this week.
All right.
We'll see you next Sunday. Oh, don't forget, follow us at BGW Podcast. Find us anywhere you want. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes,
Facebook.
Twitter, everywhere. So, we'll see you next week.
On that note,
Cheers, boys.
cheers.
Cheers.
Deep